Hey, Roro. Hey, y'all. Girl, I'm all kinds of messed up, child. Also, Ted, I'm looking like, oh my God, I feel like I'm just gonna doze off at any given time. I'm like, let me go ahead and keep my promise and gonna just at least do a little small intro of the live. Girl, I mean, it's this cold. Child, this stuff is messing me up. I'm so tired of my doggone nose stopped up, congested, but then it stopped up at the same time. Like, ugh, this is so annoying. Ugh, I don't know. I mean, unless you was talking about with me, what's going on? I don't know. Besides myself. Hey, Ange. No, it's a cold. I got sinus though, and all that do is just make it even worse. I'm sitting up here driving home. And as I'm driving, I just steady kept sneezing. I'm like, oh my God, I got to either pull over or something because I was sneezing back to back. So I'm like, man, look, eventually it stopped. Thank God I had to like literally go too far anywhere, as far as coming back home. But it's just a whole fact. It was so annoying. So I'm like, man, let me go ahead and because I forgot to even schedule the live. I didn't want y'all to be just sitting over here up in the chat and stuff, and I wasn't even ready. I'm like, let me go ahead and get this together. Girl, yes, and this stuff is so annoying. Like, just be waking up all the coughing up cold. And oh, man, I'm so done with this doggone weather. I came straight in the house and just jumped right up under the cover. Had to tell my son, I'm like, son, please just bring me the laptop. Let me at least go on here for a little bit and do, give a small little brief introduction on what the next couple of lives basically is gonna be about. Hey, sis. Hey, Miss Sexy, how you doing? I did check to see who I was live. I did see checked in over there with Sweet Mom. I know she was trying to get her movie night together. But at that time, I was on my way coming up in the house trying to get situated. So you probably was folks that was over there probably spoke to me, but I didn't see it because I instantly once I just spoke, I just basically just left up out of the live so I can get situated at home. What's been going on, y'all? What is been going on? I mean, 1 minute, yeah, it's definitely crazy. I heard about it, how crazy it's been, but it's like, oh, excuse me, y'all. It's like, one day it'd be super quiet and barely anybody laugh, and then next thing you know, it's like, man, the shit that hit the fan. I'll be like, Lord have mercy. So I guess it be cutting up on the back end when people don't necessarily go live, and then shoot that next day, boy, you talking about for the next day on up. And say I just been resting since I've been home from work. I feel you. I'm after this I probably end up taking my butt to sleep. Like I probably end up rolling me a little you dig, and man, that's gonna put me to sleep. It's gonna be a wrap from that point. Rose, I've moved into the bushes, got a whole setup, child. I know that's right here. I moved in there too. Hey, dreamy girl. I missed y'all though. I'm like, I know they like, where the heck Miss Mel and took her little self too? Like she ain't been live. I've been trying to get over this crazy cold though. For real. I'm so sick and tired of it. And I don't blame you, bro, baby. Like real talk, because look, I done got me a little set up too up in the bushes. Like, child, I done moved completely out. And say, bro, if you not lying, I don't have time. These YouTube streets crazy, girl. That's these Scarface streets. They ain't even YouTube streets no more. It's Scarface streets. Shit. They got a lot going on. The bushes definitely is a safe place. For real. Safe place, safe haven. You name it. It's definitely a safe place, Shaggers. It's too much. Too much for me. That's why I'm like, baby, let me go on and check in with the fam and see what's going on. I hope everybody been keeping it cute. I know y'all been keeping it cute. You know, I know I have. Just been staying up out of the way, trying to get over this little cold or whatever. But can't say I'm shocked. I keep saying when it's a bunch of women, it's gonna be drama. You ain't never lied. And it's not shocking to me either. It definitely not. That's why I don't group myself with anything or anybody, especially when it's a lot of women involved. Seriously. I learned that in grammar school and high school, all that. I always rock solo dolo. It is what it is. I know how to be cordial with people. I know how, just to be able to speak, show some respect, and just keep on pushing. But besides that, like baby, and even like even to this day, even as an adult, as a 43-year-old woman, I still move pretty different. You know what I mean? It's like more so that I only tell people what I want them, to know first off. And it's only so much that I'm actually going to tell anybody. And that's even with people that I even been knowing the majority of my life. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. I always been a private person, but a lot of people, when you get a ass an inch, they take a motherfucking foot, and I can't stand it when those people do the shit like that. And that's what I don't like. That's that shit I don't like. And you say Bush is definitely, I just speak because MF has got one time to go that way with me, explode mode. So yeah, just speak and support and leave, period. Dreamy Girl say yes, bro baby, and bro baby, that's true. Angie, bro baby say, Angie, I try to speak, but if folks don't speak back, child, I keep it pushing. And that's the best thing to do, because at the end of the day, folks don't really be knowing if you actually see them. I mean, sometimes you really just can't avoid from actually seeing somebody speak to you. If they comment is over yours or right up under what you just literally posted or commented, like, you just cannot excuse that, like, at all, period. Like, you seen it, because a lot of people, even though you may speak, they will at least sit up in the chat for maybe no more than about 1 or 2 minutes, at least just to see who all up in there. But on the other hand, I just don't see nobody actually like, okay, I'm about to go up in the chat, say hello to everybody, and don't actually see, sit back and see if somebody is going to speak back to you or acknowledge you, But after probably about a good 2 minutes, I could see somebody actually, leaving the chat or moving around or, just trying to multitask and end up missing somebody's comments. It just, some shit just pretty simple. But, anyways, Miss Sexy say, I'm natural. I mean, I guess you meant you were neutral. You go to different chats and run. If it ain't right, yeah, you better run, Miss Sexy. You better run. Yeah, most definitely. I hit the like button too. Rose say they pick and choose who they speak to. Keep it a buck. And you say, bro, baby, I'm with you on that. Speaking tip, heck yeah. But I don't even go in those chats. They know what the hell they be doing, and they do. Yet they do have their ones they pick and choose, and unfortunately it's not even just the supporters. It be content creators at the same time. They pick and choose who they want to speak to. And that's where a lot of shit be really sometimes getting started, and people get up in their feelings. Sometimes it's just best to just, if you can catch everybody, you can catch everybody. If not, just make sure that you acknowledge whoever that you see the best way that you can. That's it. That's all. But y'all, we're gonna do a little small a little brief content and a little summary of Mahogany Jackson. I've been all of this time that I've been away from y'all, I've been looking at this doggone content about this young lady. She's 20 years old. She's from Well, she was residing in Montgomery, Alabama. And y'all probably have heard it's been really trending for the past 3-4 weeks now on YouTube and other platforms too, on TikTok and stuff like that. But she was jumped um and essayed, and she just really was abused in a lot of different ways by eight of her close, I wouldn't even say friends, but close associates or whatever. So we're gonna do a little small introduction of that, and then probably for the next couple of days we're gonna be really talking about it, doing some reactions, because it's still new information that's still coming out about this particular case. And all 8 people has been they are locked up right now. So they actually believe that it could be more people that was involved, you know, with the brutalizing this young lady. Let me see. Let me get back over here and say I'm not kissing up, but let's go. Period. Ro Baby say it be weird how folks will speak in one track but ignore you in another. Ro Baby, we think a lot alike. Robert say Mahogany Jackson story is definitely a cautionary tale of who you call friends. Friend, So man, I've been on it, on it, on it. I say I think this might be a sector I might have to get myself involved in, because this stuff steady coming up. When it got to do with her mother and all of that, like it's just crazy, y'all. So I'm about to get ready and add the video to the screen so we can go ahead and get this started. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. Bro, baby say she getting dizzy. I was getting dizzy too, getting on my nerve. Hey, Miss Judge Judy. Who is brother? Okay. Cool. I ain't even finna talk because I already said what I was gonna say. I'm just about to play the video.
And her jealousy.
Tasia and her jealousy, Sanaya and her jealousy, everybody and their jealousy.
We're going to break all this down from all sources in a package that's digestible. Let's talk about it.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, I'm leaving no one out to go outside. Putting chores and obligations on our part.
So on February 25th, videos hit social media showing 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson being yelled at and confronted by a woman with bystanders all around watching. It eventually turned into her and another woman assaulting Mahogany and throwing her to the ground while everyone watched. This took place on Saturday night, February 24th.
Eventually, this led to Mahogany being dragged outside into the streets, them ripping off her clothes and hitting her to the point she, quote, let me go.
She telling her, you already beat my ass.
Basically waving the white flag.
Mahogany was asleep when it all kicked off.
She was asleep when they started attacking her?
Yes, she was asleep. They literally came in there off guard with the bullshit with her. And then the excuse y'all telling is y'all were drunk. In the video, that was after they hadn't did all of that to her. In that video, the clothes Mahogany has on, those are Tasia's clothes. That's Tasia's shirt and Tasia's shorts. It's another reason why Tasia took her page down. Tasia got a picture in both of those, the shirt and the shorts.
And this because they had stripped her out of her clothes and you know.
Yes.
Did whatever they did to her. So they gave her some other clothes to put on. Ariana seems pretty small too. What, she just met her though.
And that was their first time ever meeting. So that's why Mahogany was confused. She ain't never met that girl, ever. Her first time ever seeing her face to face was in that video. Her first time ever talking to her was on three-way with me. So we all sitting on the phone talking, and that's when she told me about the setup.
Now, in those videos, it's hard to say how many people were present at the time, but 8 people were taken into custody and were charged. Those 8 are Brandon Pope, 24, Francis Ace Harris, 25, Jeremiah Kodak McDowell, 18, Giovanni Clapp, 23, Blair Green, 25, Tasia Lewis, 26, Ariana Robinson, 23, and Sanaya McCall, 23.
Now, on Wednesday, March 13th, they had their preliminary court hearing, and here are the results. Brandon, Francis, and Jeremiah were each initially charged with capital murder during a first-degree kidnapping and capital murder during first-degree sodomy, and are all being held without bond. Investigators said during a bond hearing on March 4th that Harris is believed to have fired the fatal shot. Meanwhile, Giovanni, Blair, and Sanaya were charged with felony murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree sodomy, while Tasia was charged with felony murder. Tasia and Giovanni were also initially charged with second-degree assault, but Giovanni's assault charge was reduced from second degree to third-degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. The 8th suspect, Ariana, was charged with felony murder kidnapping, according to police. She was present at the hearing on Wednesday, but her case was bound over by another judge.
Now, let me be very, very clear about something. The full video of this attack shows that more people need to be arrested because 8 people is a far cry from what really took place of this heinous attack that actually ended Mahogany's life. So I just want to be very, very clear on the fact that justice is not just these 8 people, but everybody that partook in this heinous act.
They got 8 people charged with capital murder, but actually it's about another 7, 8 people who knew about what was going on in these videos was going back and forth. Just being honest, dude.
Now, the details of the things that took place is probably going to make you cringe or probably make you sick to your stomach. Now, remember, everything that we're going to say was recorded by these individuals. It was sent to their associates and was uploaded on social media. And if I'm not mistaken, there's about 8 videos in total. So on February 24th, Mahogany was lured to a friend's house or so-called friend's house.
If she'd have knew what they were planning on doing, she wouldn't even went over there. Matter of fact, when Tasia and Mahogany started back talking, all 4 of us were on FaceTime together. And on that FaceTime call, before Mahogany came around, before she said anything, she asked Tasia, looking her dead in the face. She said, "Bro, are you on the same tight time you was on last year?" She said, "Because if so, bro, I can't do all that with you no more. I ain't trying to do all that. I ain't trying to be on all that. Just leave it where it was." And Tasia looked Mahogany right in her face and told her, "I'm not on that tight time, bro. I'm done with it. I let it go."
At that individual's house, they punched her in the head, they spat on her, they also stomped her, they stripped her nude, dragged her outside, and put her in the trunk of a car.
To be more specific, in the video, Tasia was seen taking off Mahogany's shirt, dragging the nude Mahogany by her hair towards the vehicle. Sanaya was seen on the video yelling for someone to pop the trunk, which at this point, Mahogany was then moved to Serenity Apartments, where Tasia and Sanaya were roommates.
Now, once at the new location, Mahogany was forced to perform oral sex on Blair while being held at gunpoint by Tasia and Sanaya and being told, "You better do it right." And if Blair did not, quote unquote, enjoy it, she would be executed. And to make matters even worse, while she was being degraded to do such a despicable act, Sanaya made Mahogany pull down her pants and told Jeremiah to get behind her and begin to penetrate her while she was performing oral on Blair. And while this was going on, ladies and gentlemen, these people were FaceTiming other people and asking them if they want head or do they want their turn, which people literally showed up to get their rocks off.
When I called the person that made the post, because I know them personally, that's when I found out that they were FaceTiming people, asking them if they wanted their dicks up, and they were turning the camera around and showing Mahogany tied up on the floor.
What's even more sad about this situation is the whole time they were torturing this woman, they were sending out the videos, they were uploading it to social media and calling people to come join in. Not one person called the cops. Not one. People are literally watching the video, and instead of calling the cops, they are sending it to each other, talking amongst themselves, and nobody is doing anything about the situation, not looking for help, not calling 911, nothing. If one person, just one, would have immediately called the cops, this woman could possibly still be alive.
Now, it's reported that Mahogany was able to send out a message on Facebook to her mother saying, "Send the police, apartment 3, held hostage, don't call." But by the time her mother reacted, it was too late. That Monday, February 26th, Mahogany Jackson was discovered shot and killed in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue by police.
Now, I do have some questions about that message that was sent to the mother, because let's think about it. Mahogany was handcuffed, thrown in the trunk, all of this stuff. How would she have managed to get the phone? I believe that somebody there probably sent the message because they had a guilty conscience of what was going on. And then when we look at the mother, she claimed that she was not in town. She left her phone at home as she was on her way to the airport to pick up a friend. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Who goes to an airport to pick somebody up and don't have their phone on them? How are you going to know where to pick the people up? How are you going to communicate if the flight is delayed or whatever the case may be? So I find it kind of fishy that everything just aligned so perfectly that she had an alibi. And the crazy thing is that it was never confirmed that the mother was where she was.
I guess for me, all of those questions are definitely suspicious. Think about it. If something is going on, one, I'm not going anywhere without my phone. I will turn the car around and go back and get my phone.
Mhm.
Two, like you said, how am I supposed to get in contact with the person that I'm quote unquote supposed to be getting from the airport? Like, I'm not going through 1 to 6 terminals, depending on where this airport is. Like, come on, make it make sense to me. Two, how many people are really sending messages on Facebook? Like, come on. I responded to a Facebook message like I might a regular old text message or a phone call. So yeah, to me, I don't really think it was her trying to reach her mom. I really do think there was somebody with a guilty conscience.
Do you believe that Mahogany sent that message to her mama?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. The girl I used to talk to told me, and I got those receipts in my phone too. If you need them, she called me. Well, I called her, and she was like, Tasia told me what really happened. I said, "What you mean? What really happened?" So she was like I said, what really went on. She was like, "Well, first off, Mahogany didn't send that message." I said, "I know." She said, "Tasia did." I said, "I figured that." She said, "What make you say that?" I said, "Because Tasia's scary. I keep telling y'all that. As hard as she looking at picture, that's not Tasia, bro. Tasia ass is softer than water."
Now, you heard everything that happened to Mahogany, right? But the question is, why did all of this happen? Why would these women and men do such a heinous act to this woman? Well, we're going to get into that. Now, if you listen in the video when they were confronting Mahogany, you heard the name Blue thrown around several times. You probably can't hear it as clear because all the commotion that's going on and the quality of the video, but you hear the name Blue. And the question that a lot of people was asking was, who is Blue? Blue is a friend of everyone that is involved in this case.
And to everybody in the comments saying, I know a lot of details, look at how close I am to the situation. This, my ex-best friend, my ex-girlfriend, and then not only that, this is my partner who passed away's cousin. I know everybody. I ain't gonna say everybody. I know Tasia family. I know Tasia kids. I know Ariana family. I know Ariana kids. I know Sanaya family. I know Sanaya kids. I know Ace. I know his kid. I know BG. I know the folks he talked to. I know Mahogany, and I know her family, and I know her child. I know these folks.
And she was most notable for the video that she posted of her turning herself in. Because according to her, people believe that she set everything up. She's the sole reason why this happened to Mahogany. And she did it as a means to protect her own skin because the word is this was actually meant for Blue. Now, it's true that Blue is the centerpiece of all this, but her mother also played a significant, and I mean an intricate part in the events leading up to Mahogany's untimely death. Pay attention. See, Mahogany was jumped by these folks in the past, right? She moved from Birmingham to Jasper as a means to basically escape that life or get away from these people that she were beefing with and try to have a new start. The thing that sped up that process was her mother kicked her out of the house. Now you're asking, what was the reason that she was kicked out of the house? Well, it's alleged that the mother's fiance at the time was actually trying to sleep with Mahogany. That caused friction between the two, so she wind up kicking Mahogany out of the house. This prompted Mahogany to move to Jasper, move into government housing, and start a new chapter in her life. This was confirmed by Mahogany's neighbor in Jasper.
So did she grow up in Birmingham and then move to where you are?
She did. She was down here, I want to say 2 years, because she got in some trouble up there, made some enemies.
Apparently, her and her mother got into another altercation back in December of 2023. With that altercation, the mother wound up calling the cops. What was that dispute about? Well, allegedly, Mahogany's mother was selling Mahogany's food stamps. And again, this was confirmed by interview and text messages that her neighbor had with Mahogany and also in that interview. Now, shout out to the Donut Show for providing these receipts. On December 4th, Mahogany Jackson sent a text saying, "I just got out." And the neighbor replied, "Just got out what?" And she said, "Jail." And her response was, "For what, girl? What the F?" And her immediate response was, "Your mom didn't call me. I would have came and bailed you out." Mahogany's response was, "My mom called the police on me." And her response was, "For what?" And you could see it's kind of covered up, but she said, "Are you back home?" Now, when she sent them receipts, she made sure to cover up this specific section, because even when you look at it on the Donut Show, he clearly talks about how it was covered up and she did that intentionally. But if you break it down, it says, "Because I told her," and then it says, "selling our food." Now, when you look at this next panel, you see on top, it says selling our food stamps. And yeah, meaning, yes, I'm back home. So you can pretty much decipher that she pretty much was saying, hey, I told her to stop selling our food stamps. And yes, I'm home.
The problem about the mother calling the cops, it made Mahogany lose her government housing. Any arrest can result in losing your housing and facing eviction. This again was confirmed by Mahogany's neighbor. Why is this significant? This sent Mahogany back to Birmingham to figure out what her next move was because she had no place to go. So unfortunately, she was back to familiar territory. And the sad part about this, the neighbor kind of blamed herself for what happened to Mahogany.
Ronnie, stay giant. 2 times more durable, so you can use less.
I had some messages.
You have
She was-
messages from Mahogany?
She was struggling really around Christmas time is when she got arrested for putting her hands on her mom. And that kind of set in motion. My message, I think, was the 23rd. I've got to go back and check, but Mahogany was hurt, that her mom would actually call the police because where we live in Jasper, it is kind of the hood of Jasper. And it's government housing. So once her mother called the police, that's an automatic eviction because it's considered domestic violence. So it kind of set everything in motion. After that, she had to go back to Birmingham. She didn't have anywhere to go. I would give anything to go back and change it if I could, because then I felt like when she was here, it made her seem like she didn't have anybody. And I do regret that. And I think we all failed. She deserved more support. I think that her wanting to fit in clouded her judgment. She's so desperate. She wanted to fit in somewhere.
Now that we covered how the mother played an intricate role in all of this, let's get back to Blue. Blue, Francis, and Tasia are currently facing charges for a homicide back in 2022. Allegedly, Blue fired a shot at someone's house with a baby inside, and that same house was across the street from a school. So with those charges pending, and they see Blue as the weakest link, they look at her as possibly being the snitch. So they pretty much wanted to get the drop on Blue. What happened was Mahogany heard about the drop. She told Blue about the drop. And from there, Ariana was on the phone when Mahogany was telling Blue about this. Ariana went back and told the crew, and that's when they put the hit out from Mahogany.
So this is a lie that these people were going around robbing people, setting people up. And this is what I heard about Mahogany, that she was one of the money getters. She knew how to get the dudes with money, and she knew how to bring the money to the dudes. And a lot of the girls was jealous because she was
No,
loose out.
no,
This
no.
is not true. Not true.
I ain't gonna say it's not true, but how people are portraying it is not true.
Knowing Tasia, Ariana, and Samaya, did you ever think that they would be capable of something like this?
Hell no, them three of the scariest I know.
Look though, listen to what I'm trying to tell you right now. The whole fight was about a gun that was missing, and that somebody was trying to set you up.
That was about a gun. The same gun that was used to kill them 4 boys over there in Smithfield. Mahogany took it from a dude named Westside. But the gun wasn't Westside gun, it was Ace gun. So that's what started it. The video everybody see of my name being said, that was 24 hours after they had did all that stuff. That was the end.
And you believe that it's stemming from Tasia and her jealousy.
Tasia and her jealousy, Sanaya and her jealousy, everybody and their jealousy, and just the whole situation.
Absolutely. And then the gun. Okay, she took the gun.
Most
That was
definitely the
final.
gun.
That was fun, like the final straw. Okay, now this is stealing from us or whatever, so we
Yeah.
got to get her back.
At the end of the day, Mahogany telling Blue about the setup is what set things in motion of everything else that followed on February 24th.
As you can see, there's a lot of moving parts to the story and other details that were left out, but that's because this video was solely focusing on Mahogany's story and why everything occurred, but in a condensed and digestible format.
Now, let me say this. We all know Mahogany was not an angel. She was not a saint by any means necessary. She was out running licks with these people, committing crimes, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, what this woman went through does not warrant or justify anything she went through because of her past. Because there's going to be a lot of people that's like, oh, she wasn't an angel, she wasn't a saint. That's fine. We get that. But does that warrant what she went through? We're talking 24 hours of constant beating, getting raped, sodomized. And for those who don't know like the intricacies of what being sodomized is, that's a foreign object that's penetrating you. That's what it comes down to. So on top of them raping her, they found whatever possible to penetrate this woman. And it doesn't even go into detail where actually they sodomized her. So it could have been anything. Just think if this was your loved one, your daughter, whoever. Just think about it. And I know that it says that they got her inebriated. I'm starting to think maybe it was a good thing that she got inebriated. And hear me out. Because her being inebriated actually probably made it not as painful. Her getting hit may not have had the full impact or the full trauma or full hurt that those blows, that the graping, that the sodomy would have had, the effects it would have had if she wasn't inebriated. So, with that being said, these charges getting lowered or some charges getting dropped on these individuals, to me, what's there to drop? You clearly have video evidence of everything that took place. So I don't see anything should have got dropped. They should have pressed everything under the sun on these individuals. And I don't know what the family's going through, but I know if I was in their shoes, I don't know what could be done that would make me pursue further avenues of finding closure. Because real talk, if you leave it up to me, the only way I would get a smidget of finding some type of closure would be for every single one of them. And I'm not talking about just the 8. I'm talking about all the people that came in to join when they FaceTime these people, all the people that they didn't show that got their kicks in, all of these people that partook in this. I want them to experience the same 24 hours that my daughter, my loved one, wife, whatever the case may be, experienced. And then we could start looking at what your prison time will be. And even with that, what she experienced, I would want y'all to experience that also while you're incarcerated. And I want life sentences. And I don't want the death penalty because death is too good for these individuals. For you to take 24 hours to brutally torture somebody and then off them. And some people gonna say, "Yo, I may sound twisted, but you would have been better off just offing her right then and there." I'm not condoning violence or anything, but I would have been I would have looked at it as more humane if they would have just offed her right then and there. Because let's look at just regular animals. Animals, you want to kill them in the most humane way as possible. And she couldn't even get that. And the sad part about it is that when you look at that video when they was confronting her, you could see it written on her face that she knew this was it. From her demeanor, the way she was talking, when they knocked her to the ground and she got up with her lip busted, everything basically spoke saying she knew she was not coming out of this alive.
And you see her in the video, she's terrified. She's scared to death. She knew. And when she fell on the floor and got up and looked at the camera and her lip was bleeding, you could tell she's scared. She was all by herself. Not one person in that room stood up for her. Nobody. I can't even think about her being there alone and scared. Everything they did.
With that being said, I hope these people suffer in the most inhumane way possible. Erica P., your thoughts?
I think you took most of the words out of my mouth. I don't have nothing else to say. Like, you really said everything I was going to say that I was thinking about.
Let's keep that fight and that justice for Mahogany Jackson going on until justice is served and everybody involved is held responsible and held to the fullest extent of the law. And hopefully the family can find closure and start the process of healing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into another episode of Matter of
Okay, y'all. So, yes, this is what we're going to be talking about for the next couple of days. I actually have more to bring to y'all. I'm going to go back up on the comments. And I did see Rose say something about why would I think that the mom would have something to actually do with the death. Not necessarily her death, but she played a major role. Like the man just got done saying, right before she actually went to those people's house, who so-called, fake friends or whatever. Blue is who she was actually, who she was dealing with. She was like her lover or ex-lover. So when her mom got into it, allegedly, her and her mom had words. So when they had words, what they had words about was Mahogany's mother, boyfriend, or somebody that she liked, or she had some interest in. Mahogany ended up having sex with him, and she got pregnant. So that really kind of like took the twists and turns off of things. The food stamp thing, it was already there. Y'all, excuse me, I got this little cold. The food stamp thing, it was already there. But this was the reason why she actually got kicked out and ended up going back. When she actually went home, she was on the Section 8 and stuff. Her mom called the police. Now, mind you, her mom works for real estate. And we're going to get into that because I got a video on that too. But we just going to work on what this video was about. But mind you, her mom worked in real estate. So her mom already knew if she was to call the police on her, she was going to get kicked out. So once her mom called the police on her, sent the police over there to her daughter's apartment. Her daughter really ain't had nowhere to go. She was homeless. So that's why she got in contact with the ex-lover, or the current lover, Blue. And Blue had her go over there, out to Montgomery. And that's how she ended up being there. But the thing is, mind you, that Mahogany she lived a whole total different lifestyle from these other people that did this to her. She was more like, between middle and high class. These was more a little lower class people and stuff like that. So she used to go around them for quite some time, and they knew that she pretty much had more than them. So that's where a lot of jealousy stuff came in. That was almost one of the reasons why they jumped her previously, before this incident actually happened. So they already was in their feelings about her. Blue pretty much just saved her during this incident. Blue was actually supposed to be there, but she wasn't there. So they ended up just doing the whole little hit on Mahogany because Mahogany was, she was present. So, anyway, when it came down to the mom again, everybody keep asking, like, if this woman was being beaten and tortured and all of this for the entire 24 hours, they just stripped her naked, and all the stuff that they did to her, how was she able to even get to her phone to even call her mom or to text her mom? So it was obviously somebody else that did that part. That hasn't came out yet. And then it was what's another part? I probably have to go back into the comments, but then it's a lot of loose strings up in this story, y'all. It really is. Oh, another major part is that while they were, sexually assaulting her and everything, everybody was recording. Remember, he said it was 8 videos that literally hit the internet. So as these videos was put on live, it was probably about a good maybe 6 to 7 more people that came into that apartment, and they was pretty much advertising what they was doing, and they was like, look, if y'all want to come get y'all some of this, some of that, then come on, it's a free ride basically. So it was about 6, besides the 8 people that already got caught, it was about 6 or 7 more people that's still out there. They did their thing and then they left. So yeah, it's hey Cancer, hey baby. So yeah, it's like a whole lot of pieces. It's real sick. It's real sick, y'all. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the stuff that they had her doing, they like they put a gun to a weapon up to this woman's head and have her, give oral sex to 2 of the ladies. The females that's actually in custody right now. Like, it's just ridiculous. The police was just basically saying it was so much that was done to her that they couldn't even say it publicly. So it's just like a lot of stuff. A few people that I am following and following the story on, like, they actually went to the funeral. It's a video out there of the funeral. They actually had spoke to the mom did do an interview, and the sister came to find out in a lot of different ways. Allegedly, she do have a sister and a brother, and the sister did a small little interview as far as with the press, and everybody just seems so nonchalant. Y'all have to actually see it for yourself. That's why I say it's going to probably be a couple of days or a few days that we're going to be going over these different videos, because it's so much to cover when it has to do with this. And man, y'all, this just happened February 25th of this year. They jumped her in the towards the beginning and the early middle part of December of last year. That was the first time that they jumped her. So like I say, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm talking about Mahogany Jackson, Cancer. It's a lot. I wanted to see the videos, but I'm glad I didn't find them. Girl, I'm pretty sure it's if you do end up coming across some videos right now, it's probably gonna be kind of hard to come across them now, because they've been asking, people whoever do have them to stop sharing them, across social media. I haven't came across them, but they literally have every last video out there. So I don't think I'll be able to stomach taking it, being able to look at that, because just the thought of knowing that of what they did, and that's just a partial part of the things that they did to this baby. So and also now, it's been said that the mother, Mahogany's mother, she has also gave Mahogany's baby on to somebody else. We trying to figure out who this somebody else is. It was a lady, so Mahogany's mother, she was taking charge over her baby already. She had already took her baby from her. I guess that was through a whole DCFS, CPS case or whatever. But her mom really had like a weird type of relationship. Very weird, very disturbing. It was a lot going on. Like, she wasn't too much her sister, they didn't really have a real good relationship either. Well, it was just so crazy, but no matter what, it's a lot. It is a lot to cover, y'all. And I've been really on it for the past 3-4 days. And let me see what Cancer said. Cancer said what they did to that poor girl was horrible. I haven't seen any of the videos, and I can't, because yes, Cancer. Like, that's why I say, even just from them even describing, to the minimum basis, I don't even want to see the videos at all, period. I don't, and there's been a lot of content creators that actually have it. They don't have them, where it is to the public. You will have to actually have access to a whole different platform where they may have the video at. I'm not sure as far, I know with the videos of them fighting, I know those are pretty much still available, but the other ones, all the other stuff that they was doing to that baby, like, I hope they don't have that still just going around, throughout the internet, for real. That is horrible. I can't, But I want to get to the bottom of this, this entire story, and get some real inside scoop on it. Not only that, it kind of remind me of the Shaquella Robinson story at the same time. And it's only difference is that, they didn't get caught, and a lot of stuff is just like, I don't know, this stuff is just so weird, and it's happening too often. Can't say who would want to even see those videos. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was barely able to like stomach just hearing these other different lives and people talking about it, let alone be sitting up there watching the video. Like, that's too much. That's definitely too much. But yeah, like, it's a whole lot going on with that story, y'all. And we're gonna get to we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and we are going to talk about it, and we're gonna find out what's really, really going on with our own opinions. We're gonna come together with our heads and, man, just try to decipher what really is going on with this case, with this particular story. And I hope they really do find these other people that was there, that SA'd her too. Find these other people, because it's not just 8. Those was the 8. Those was the main 8. Those wasn't the people that literally had got on live, came to that address, and also, engaged within those evil. Oh my God. But yeah. Oh, guy said, who video we just watched, he said between 6 and 7. It's the other couple of content creators that they believe it probably was just 2 more people included with the 8 that's already in custody. But it's just the whole fact, like, it's bad enough for it to be one person, to be actually doing something like that, let alone between 8 to maybe 13, 14 people. Like, it's sad, y'all. It's sad. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go through the funeral and stuff, and I got to see how how did that all turn out, and if it's actually the full funeral and stuff. So yeah, we gonna be talking about it. We is gonna be talking about it. It is crazy. So if y'all interested, y'all let me know in the chat if this is something y'all will be interested in doing, because I really would be putting a nice amount of time in, on this story. I really am. See, when I get into certain stuff like this and certain stories like this, and it'd be a lot of, people throwing rocks, hiding their hands in these type of stories, I get really, really in tune with it. Like, I watched this stuff for basically like a whole day almost. Yes, most definitely. I want to find out. It's time to put our nosy self to business and let's get to the bottom of this. Because stuff like this needs to stop going on. It really needs to just stop. It's starting to become a trend at some point. It really is. And it's all of these, these little young, I think Miss Judy had said it in the comments, these either teenagers or these young adults. Like, seriously, it don't make no sense. Like, this is how they really get down. Oh, I really need to blow my nose, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna mute y'all real quick so I can blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I feel so much better. Lord have mercy. I felt like one of the baby kids, the one that had the nose running all the time. Yeah, so I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can find one more, because y'all got me out. Once I get started, Lord have mercy, that's how I be. I don't be wanting to stop. I'm up in here like the baby kids. Is that my car? Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure. Okay, that's my neighbor car. I'm about to say, sure. Be like the baby kids, boots. Nose just keep running. I'm so tired. Oh, my nose running. Okay, so let me go back. Let me see if I can find the other one, because I might have to edit some of this stuff. It was a fight. It was a fight, y'all, that broke out at the courthouse involving this case. So we gonna let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. I'm gonna do the report from the Birmingham PD. We gonna do that one. Yeah, let's do that. Here we go. Hey, what's up, baby? You just say it hurts to see it, but it's interesting for her story to get out. Yes, it is, Ange. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. This is the this about the same case. This is the police. When they do their interview to give a summary.
Sound good for everyone? Right. Hello, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald of the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. Joining me tonight for this press conference is BPD Police Chief Scott Thurman, along with Deputy Police Chief of the Detective Bureau, Sheila Finney, and members of our homicide team who work hard each and every day to bring justice like this case we're announcing tonight. Tonight, you will hear from BPD Police Chief Scott Thurman about an update in the Mahogany Jackson homicide investigation. And at this time, Chief Scott Thurman.
So good evening. The Birmingham Police Department announces 7 arrests have been made in the Mahogany Jackson homicide investigation. On Sunday, February 25th, 2024, the Birmingham Police Department officers began investigating the missing persons case of 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson. Mahogany sent a text message to a family member that she had been kidnapped. Early the following day, officers and detectives discovered Mahogany's body in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. Investigators determined that she had been shot. With assistance from the community, detectives were not only able to locate Mahogany Jackson's body, but detectives took 7 suspects responsible for Mahogany's murder into custody within 48 hours of this investigation. On Wednesday, February 28, 2024, detectives were able to obtain arrest warrants for the following suspects. Giovanni Clapp, black female, 23 years of age. She is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, sodomy first degree, and assault second with injury. Blair Green, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, and sodomy first degree. Tasia Lewis, black female, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, assault second, injury with a weapon. Francis Harris, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first degree, and capital murder and kidnapping first. Sanaya McCall, black female, 23 years of age of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first, and sodomy first. Jeremiah McDowell, black male, 18 years of age of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first, and capital murder with kidnapping first. Brandon Pope, black male, 24 years of age of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, kidnapping first, and capital murder with sodomy first. The facts of this case are deplorable and sickening. Saddest of all, they were made public by the suspect's decision to videotape portions of this horrific act. We hope to shield Mahogany's family and friends by withholding specific facts surrounding the investigation. However, we have determined that Mahogany was a victim of sexual assault with murder and kidnapping. Recently, Mayor Randall Woodfin and the Birmingham Police Department have urged the public assistance to help the Birmingham Police Department investigate violent acts such as these described in this case. In Birmingham, you answered the call. It's hurtful to know that 7 individuals could participate in such vile acts, but this case highlights the strength and the effectiveness of the partnership between the Birmingham Police Department and our community, as 7 suspects are now behind the bars and will soon be in custody of the Jefferson County Jail with no bond. And I'll tell you, as many of you know, I served a number of years in the homicide unit, and this is undoubtedly one of the most heinous acts I've seen in my career. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm very thankful to the men and women of the Birmingham Police Department who've worked tirelessly for many days and very long hours to bring resolution to this particular case and get these individuals off the streets of Birmingham. And I also want to highlight the assistance of the citizens of Birmingham who came forward and gave us information that led to the arrest of these individuals. I can't thank them enough.
Chief, can you tell us how long Mahogany was held hostage and tortured, and do you have a possible motive?
I will say that all of these individuals were acquaintances, that they were not strangers to one another. As far as an exact time of how long she was held, I don't have that information.
And you have a potential motive?
I would just say they're all acquaintances of one another.
I know on early Monday morning, you all went out there with the family to go look for her.
Well done, Viv. You got the presents, the balloons, and the raptor cake.
What happened during that time? Were you all able to find her, or clearly not at that moment, but what happened? How did you?
Well, Monday's when we found her body. You know, Sunday's when we got the information about the fact that she had been kidnapped and began a search to try and locate her. It was in the early hours of Monday morning that we received information that led us to where her body was. So we were able to recover and begin a homicide investigation at that point.
So in no way you all made it to the apartment complex that was in question?
We had been to that apartment complex on Sunday, yes.
So what happened there? Did you make contact with any of
We
the
did make
suspects at
contact
the
with
time?
someone. We did question some individuals.
What came of that conversation?
One of those individuals is charged.
Did they admit to?
I'm not gonna get into the specifics of the case because that would hurt the criminal case, but it was all pieces of the puzzle, I guess, if you could say.
And how do situations like these work with her texting her family members saying she was being hostage or asking them to send the police? And you go to this apartment, can you just go in? Is that probable cause? Like, how does that work?
So we have to look at the totality of circumstances. Each case is different, has a different set of facts. We have to look at what we've got. And then, there's different ways, whether we need to obtain a search warrant, we can gain consent, or as you kind of alluded to, if the facts are just egregious enough, then we could go in and make sure no one's in danger.
So of the 7 people, have most of them been compliant and talking to detectives who have been working on this case?
There again, that's something that will need to come out in court. That's part of the criminal case.
Chief, how exactly did the public assist in identifying these suspects, and are you confident that these are all of the suspects involved?
I am very confident that this is all the suspects. Just them giving us some of the information that they had seen, that they had been made aware of, giving that information to our detectives so they could follow up from there, which led us to the culmination of these individuals being in jail today.
Now, Chief, I know you said you can't tell us the motive right now, but I saw, is it true, can you confirm, has there been like a video going around of a fight prior to the murder?
Well, I won't necessarily say there was a fight. There's videos of some of these heinous acts taking place, and that's something that was a pivotal piece of the investigation. So I'll just leave it at that.
Chief, how big of a role would you say those text messages and her contacting her family, how big of a role did that play?
Well, I think that was a very big role because that kind of got the police involved. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been involved prior to that time had that information not gotten out to someone so they could alert us, we could begin an investigation. The investigation initially began as a missing persons case. Our investigators spent all day out, most of that night, trying to locate her, following up on leads to see where she could be and things of that nature. And then, unfortunately, a few hours later, we received information where her body was. We went to that location and did indeed find her body.
Chief, I just want to clarify something from earlier. Did the victims all knew, the suspects all knew each other? Did they also know the victim?
Yes. Everyone involved in the case, victim suspects, were all acquainted with one another.
Can you say if the person that led you to Mahogany's body is one of the suspects?
They are not.
And do we know where Mahogany was shot? Was that in the apartment complex?
There again, that's some of the facts that the detectives have that they're presenting.
Okay, y'all. So this is what I'm gonna come to y'all questions in a minute. So remind y'all of something, because I did ended up seeing the affidavit for all of them, the ones that's in custody. Now on the affidavit, it says February 24th. That's on a Saturday. This past February 24th. That was on a Saturday. That's when they got into the police custody, right? So mind you, they pronounced her dead February 25th. So this is what confused me, because I'm like, hold on, because if February 24th was on a Saturday, is when they found her, so that means Friday if she was beaten 24 hours, right? They say she was beaten for 24 hours. So that means she had to literally, they had all of this had to start that Friday, going into Saturday. And then they unalived her Saturday night or Saturday, you know, early Saturday morning. You know what I mean? So they reported the girl missing Sunday morning, that Sunday morning. And they found her body that following Monday. You know, so it's just crazy how, like, literally, that's why I say I got to go back. I'm gonna have to edit some stuff so I can bring it back and show y'all a lot of stuff. But let's keep in mind about this baby. She didn't get penetrated with objects, beaten with a gun. She was beaten for 24 hours. She was pop-out in the head, you know, sexually assaulted by then almost a dozen people, which they only have 8 in custody. And all of this stuff was recorded on live. And I agree with you, Ro Baby. You say they was in an apartment complex. I definitely agree with you. Why didn't somebody step up with all of this stuff going on 24 hours? 24 hours. I don't understand it. And then somebody else, I think it was Cancer, had mentioned something about as far as capital murder. I really believe that they gonna give them, you know, they're not getting out. First of all, they not getting out at all. You know, them, I believe all of them is gonna probably end up getting life sentences. I think they working on going to trial as well. So this could actually be going on for the next couple of years. For real. They go to trial. It might be for, you know, this could be going on for the next couple of years, this investigation and all of this stuff. Like, seriously. And, you know, like, I think that would probably be the worst thing for them to actually do. But I also think that might be a good thing for them to do, because let the people know everything that y'all monsters done did to this baby. Real talk. Let the people know. I want to know. I want to know. Exactly. I do. Go to trial, because I want to know who played what part and everything else. They already know who did the shooting. They didn't, you know, pop out that baby in the back of her head. You know, it just, I mean, it wasn't enough about all the other stuff that y'all done sit up here and did and watched other people do, including, you know, it's just, for real. Miss Sexy say, it won't be going on no couple of years. I mean, we don't know. It depends. It depends on Miss Sexy, because I'm just saying, as far as like, if they end up coming across some other, you know, some other people, you know, but it's not, these are just the 8 that got caught. You know, it was other people that actually, when they went live, you know, that they actually came to the apartment complex and had this woman doing acts on them, but they just left. You know, so if they was if any of the 8 decide to come out and you know, come and throw out some other names out there, then automatically they gonna have to play their part too. I don't know. Real Baby say, I've been trying to catch the trial on Court TV. Yeah, they still they not on trial yet. They getting ready to hit the I think is it the Supreme Court? I think that's what it is. Because a couple of their charges, a couple of their charges had been dropped. You know, pretty much just lowered. So they saying it's pretty much that those charges, they'll end up probably getting those charges recharged back to them. Either way it go, you know, basically just like from a 2nd degree to a 3rd degree, you know, and stuff like that. But they say those charges can come back at any given time. Yeah, they haven't mentioned no trial just yet. You know, they just had a hearing. They literally just had a hearing probably about like a couple of weeks ago. Yep, they just had a hearing a couple of weeks ago. And you know, they do their hearings. I think they've been doing their hearings like separate, you know. So yeah, it's crazy. They just saying what happened and left, and they won't get too much. Yeah, yeah, they played a part. They still SA'd her. I may be going for a couple of years because there's so many different who are going to be tried individually. Right. That's what I was trying to say. Cancer. You know, that's why I say even with the hearing, they just had another hearing about a couple of weeks ago. You know, and they've been doing them separately. Well, they need to be locked. Yes, they do. Throw away the key, Ange. Throw away the key. Ro Baby say, and it's crazy. This wasn't a big news story nationwide. Exactly. I'm looking like I just so happened, you know, was just going through my YouTube and you know, Ro Baby, I be looking at the same stuff. You be looking up anything that got to do with the crime and all this and that. And then I came across a story. And so once I started looking at it, I'm like, man, okay, let me go over here on this other platform, type in her name and see if it's been some videos or something. It's been some videos that's on there, you know, and then I came across a couple of platforms that was talking about it. And so I'm like, dang, I just got to listening and looking and you know, just then I had went on Facebook. I see it's a whole group. You know, I'm like, baby, I was just all into it at that point, all into it, and it definitely should have been something nationwide. But it get a lot of, excuse me, a lot of stuff get thrown up under the rug. You know how you go. Miss Sexy say it's the 8. They got other going that's going to be all of them going to have the same hearing. They're gonna get. I believe so. I believe it. They're gonna have the same hearing, but they still had some of them still was done separately. Ro Baby say, baby, I tell my sons 19 and 12 that they don't have friends. I showed this story to them. Yes, for real. For real. I always told my kids that too. I'm your friend. You ain't got no friends. I'm your friend. Cancer say my husband's sister was unalive back in 1992 and the trial took over 1 year. Yes, it I'm telling you. And that's just one person. You know, when you got 8 people and they gotta, you know, all of them have to, you know, testify. They all have maybe separate attorneys or whatever, you know, like yeah, they all got to play their own part, you know. They got to speak on their part and how they, you know, their involvement. Because there was a lot of different things that was done to that baby. A lot. Everybody played a particular part. And it's just like some of them have charges as far as you know, whoever was penetrating her with different objects or something like that. Some of them have that charge and some of them don't. Some of them have a charge as far as, you know, beating her with a weapon, and some of them don't. So they charges varies. Miss Lynn say, I've watched it for a while, but it was too much for me. It was terrible the way they did her. Yes, Miss Lynn, it's horrible. Believe it or not, I have never known anyone to be unalive at the hand of someone else. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Say, Mel, they ain't gonna let them testify on each other. They all gonna get the same treatment. I don't know, Miss Sexy. That's why we gonna be into it. We gonna find out. It's time for us to put our nosy strands up in all this stuff because my nose so far deep up in this. Like, come on now. I want to find out myself. I want to see how all of this is gonna get taken care of. The way that they handle this case, all that. I want to find out what's been going on behind the scenes before any of this even occurred. It's a lot of stuff. What state was this done in again? Alabama. Yeah, in Montgomery. Yeah. My grandmother was unalive in 1986. Oh, that's sad. Oh, my God. That is crazy. I'll be right back, y'all. Let me go get this charger before we go dead on me. I don't want y'all to be like, what happened again? Let me see if I can come and find something else for y'all real quick. We'll just let this. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let this part. Wait a minute. No. Let's do this.
Mahogany Jackson was unalived February 25th, leaving behind a 3-year-old daughter. She was betrayed by her so-called friends.
She came on her own.
Let's do this.
Brace yourself. Your kids have to stop brushing their teeth. Why? Because the Auto Brush can clean teeth 27.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what happened to Mahogany Jackson.
Let's do this, and then I'm gonna go grab my charger or whatever. Y'all let me know about this little debate that they about to get ready and have. Is it sharing? Oh, okay, it is sharing. I'm tweaking. Let me know about this debate, y'all.
And we covered what happened to Mahogany Jackson from beginning to end in the last 24 hours of her life before those fake friends ultimately unalived her. Now, in that video, we spoke about how the mother indirectly played a pivotal role in the things that happened or actually set the train in motion for what happened to Mahogany Jackson. Now, people in the comment section, and one person in particular who went in the comment section was the neighbor of Mahogany Jackson. She came and defended the mother and said, the mother, I'm paraphrasing here, she basically said the mother tried the best that she can do. Mahogany Jackson put her hands on her mother. She called the cops, and she made the best decision she thought because she looked at it as, I'd rather my daughter in jail or out in the streets, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, she felt she was making the best decision because Mahogany Jackson was very difficult to work with as a child. So I'm paraphrasing, but that's in a nutshell what she was saying. Now, we did extend the invitation to her to come on the show to give us, all the details that she may know so that we can be up to date and informed about what happened with Mahogany Jackson and her mother. But with that being said, I still wholeheartedly feel that the mother played an intricate role in the events that led to Mahogany Jackson's death.
Wait, why?
Why do I feel like she do?
Yeah.
Because I feel as though she abandoned and gave up on her child. I don't believe that a parent should give up on their child.
Even if they put their hands on you?
You said even if they put their hands on you?
Yeah.
If they put their hands on me, we're going to shoot the fair one. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to put it like this. If I know that me calling the cops is going to get you evicted or make your living situation that much more crazy, especially if I have the best interests of keeping you from, getting unalived, I would make a conscious decision to know that if I put you in a corner where you have no place to stay, and on top of that, you can't stay in my house, I would make a conscious decision of not getting the cops involved.
I
Now,
dig that.
I can possibly just leave the house, walk away, and I'm done with you. But if I know for a fact I call the police, you're gonna get evicted, or it's a good chance you'll get evicted, and now you have nowhere to go, then what does that do for me? As like, what does that say about me coming out saying, oh, I'm trying to look for the best interest of my child? Am I really at that point?
Okay, but think about it though, right? This is my child, yes, but you've already had a child. So realistically, you're an adult at this point. So why do I have to still kid glove you if you want to do what you want to do? You want to go, you want to fight me, you want to come at me over every little thing. Why do I have to keep trying to champion for you because you're my child at this point? Because realistically, you're an adult. You're making adult decisions and you have to live by those choices.
All right. So then, if that's the case, why come in my presence if that's how you feel? If you feel that strong, if I feel that strong about my child that I want nothing to do with, why would I go to their house in their presence knowing that we don't get along? So if I go over there knowing this, then I should have the wherewithal to understand what might come with it, especially if we're talking about a history of how this child that she has came to be. We're talking, there's rumors and speculations or allegedly that her child is her stepdad's child. And she signed the birth certificate. So it's not like I'm oblivious as a parent to all the things that was going on in our history. So with all that knowledge of that history, and then I go in the presence and I incite the person, or not even incite them, because Mahogany said herself that she was selling the food stamps. So me as a parent doing that disservice, I actually added gas to the fire with my actions.
But
You think
maybe
that
I
was
was
intentional?
The cops.
But maybe I was bringing you your child. Maybe your child wanted to see you. Maybe you called me and said, hey, I want to see my child. Because think about it, realistically, yes, you're the mother of this child, but if I'm the parent and I signed the birth certificate, that means it's really no longer your child. Maybe it was the goodness out of my heart that I was allowing you to see this kid. So maybe that's realistically how the circumstance happened. Maybe I brought you your child because you called me asking to see your child. Now, who's the bad guy? Because it's not me. It's me doing what you're asking me to do. And then I get there and then I still got to worry about you being in my face.
Okay, but let's look at it from and we don't know the events that happened in that house, but let's look at it from us in a strategic perspective. You're my parent. I come to you and tell you, stop selling my food stamps. If I feel like I'm in a position of power that I have control over you, I'm going to backtalk, like that parent is going to backtalk to them and look down upon them. So if I'm telling you stop selling my food stamps and you feel emboldened to think you have a power over me, and you backtalk like I'm not doing a thing or whatever the case may be, that's the only way I can see the situation evolving into a fisticuffs. Because I promise you, if my child tell me, yo, dad, stop selling my food stamps, and I'm like, you know what, I was wrong, I'm gonna stop doing it. The only way things will transpire is if I'm like, you don't tell me to do nothing. I'm the one that raised you. I basically put clothes on your back. I earned that money. That's my money. Yada yada. If I start throwing that weight and my child needs that money for whatever reason to keep a roof over their head, to feed themselves, why would it not evolve into a fisticuff? So again, you have to play a specific role to make it escalate to that level.
Did she live there though? Like, did Mahogany live with her moms?
Mahogany did in the past, but the mother kicked her out.
And she was selling the food stamps after?
Huh?
She was selling the food stamps after she already kicked her out?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Because I was gonna say maybe she owed her money or something, because we don't know that though. We don't know if she owed the mother money. We don't know what's going on. It's just stop selling my food stamp. What if you owe me $2,000 and I need my $2,000? Should I not sell you food stamps?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But if that was the case, with everything that's alleged, I'm pretty sure that would have came out. But that is a fair point.
True.
That could be a family dilemma that we don't know about. But what I'm saying is, I still have to ultimately blame the mother because you knew calling the cops is a good possibility that she'll get evicted. And then somebody else in the comment was saying that, hey, I live in these type of housing developments. In order for them to know, somebody would have to call, the governing body of whatever apartment complex. So that tells me somebody could have called. Now, I know June, you probably was thinking like, hey, what if it's not the mother? What if it's somebody else or whatever? Like, am I hitting the ballpark?
It could be. Like,
Go ahead.
I'm not trying, a neighbor, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it could be anybody. A neighbor could call. Like, no, like if I see you put your hands on your mom's, I could feel like, nah, you wildin'. Pick up the phone, hey, excuse me, blah, 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 blah. Like, I know she do this, I know she do, like, it could be anybody.
That's a fair point.
But
Go
think
ahead.
about it. The other side is too, what happens if it was happening during business hours and somebody was in a management office? Think about it. Some of these complexes have management offices that work at 8 to 5. So if this happened between an 8 to 5 and maybe the unit is not too far away from the office, that means they didn't seen the cop cars come in. I could have been outside on my smoke break. And I could have saw everything happen. So that's what I'm saying. With that kind of circumstance, it's too many moving parts on how it was notified. But yes, you have to believe it was going to get notified.
Yeah, but it still ultimately come down to the mom called the cop.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what it
true.
come down to, that the mother called the cop. So I still gotta blame her because, like I said, if I'm a parent and I know, because all the things that the mother is saying is she wanted to put her daughter in the best position to escape the life in Birmingham. So if that's what you're saying, and then you call the cops, which will put her in a position to lose the housing. Like, why not just walk out the house and say, you know what? You will never see your child again, and you're dead to me at this point. Like, I would have been fine with that.
But when are you allowed as a parent to call the cops if you believe the cops can help you? Like, you getting in trouble, you getting that smack can make you do better. Like, when do we call the cops on our kids? If our kids is out here beating us, our kids are out here doing craziness, sleeping with our husbands or whatever. Like, when are we allowed to call the cops on this person who is a seems like a demon child? I'm not saying she is, but it seemed like she could be.
Ever tried cooking dinner with a recipe you found online? Didn't turn out the way it looked in those recipe photos?
Here's the thing. If she knows
They gonna
that
hate me.
Mahogany is a demon child, as you want to say, right? And I'm not saying that you're saying that, but I'm just saying, like, if that was her perspective of Mahogany, right?
Yeah.
If you know all this stuff and she wanted to see her daughter, drop the daughter off and keep it pushing.
But see, you're gonna be mad at me for that. I'm not dropping my child off because technically it's not your child. It's
Nope.
my child.
Yes.
As the mom, I signed the birth certificate. It is my child. That means at one point in time or another, you gave
See,
up your parental
see,
rights.
see,
So
see,
therefore,
that speaks to me of bad parenting.
How?
but it's not bad parenting though.
For me to take my child's child and then hold a flex move of saying, yo, this is my child, you're not. No.
Cause in the last video, you said she was busting looks and all of that. So if that was going on, I'm supposed to drop off this kid to
Yes,
your
and when
house?
she went to Jasper, she was doing better. She had a job and everything at Walmart. She had a job. She was doing better.
For how long though? Was that
When
like
she was in Jasper
but how long was she in Jasper?
for 3 years.
Okay, all right. Then she was
You
doing
see what
better
I'm
than
saying?
that's
She
kind of
was doing
grimy.
better.
That's grimy.
The neighbor fell back from being cool with her after the altercation took place with her mother.
Mhm.
And the neighbor has kids. So the neighbor having Mahogany around her kids and stuff, that means that she's doing better. people may get upset at me for saying it, but you got to look at it. Black Caribbeans fought for their freedom. We know to fight to the end for whatever it is that we believe in. And it's sorry to say, but Black Americans don't have that instilled in them. Just look at it. They didn't fight for their freedom in slavery. Slave freedom was granted to them. So I understand when you don't know your identity or your true history, that dynamic can be stripped away from you. But I'm just speaking as a Caribbean Black man, we are instilled to never give up. And that includes in our kids. So when I see this, I cannot say that I can't blame the mother, because you never should have gave up on that child. And I stand firm by that.
Yo, I agree now. He's right, yo.
I like I said, I agree with what you're saying, but you have to think about the logic here, right? When you grow up in the States, the biggest thing for a long time is when you're 18, you can get out my house. When you're 18, you're an adult. The problem is when you start thinking about it over the years, you keep seeing laws are changing because kids legitly at 18 are really not grown-ups. Their brains are really not fully developed. But that was the logic. It was just as long as I get you through high school, I ain't got to deal with you no more. You can go ahead about your business. So if you grow up with that mindset of you're 18, you're grown, you can go do whatever you want to do, because at that point my hands is washed, that's the logic. And I get it. For most people, it is not the, hey, you're 18 and you're done. But that was what was being prophesized for the longest.
I know that. And I understand that. That is exactly why I said what I said. But at the end of the day, your job as a parent is to do whatever you can do to provide for your child, because you know what it comes down to?
That's a fact.
The planning of having that child was up to you. That child had no say in coming into this world whatsoever. So if you decided as a parent, I'm gonna have this child, it is your job to do whatever it is you have to do to make sure that that child make it and not give up on that child. Now, if we live in a world where children can say, hey, you and you, I want y'all to come together and have me, you got me there. But they have absolutely no say on the matter. So if you make that conscious decision to say, I want a child, then you better suck it up and make that contradiction, to make that have that understanding to accept everything that comes with having a child. So again, nothing anybody can say to me will make me say, yo, she failed that child under those circumstances. Because I could understand as a parent, you try to do what you want to do, like you try to do what you got to do, and the kid sneaks and do whatever. I'm not talking about those circumstances. I'm talking about this particular circumstances and the chain of events of what happened.
But think about it, right? You're telling me she already had a kid. So that means you had a kid, what, about 17 years old to be a 3-year-old at 20. That means in our eyes at this point, you're an adult.
But
think about it. For you to get
Erica
benefits on your
Erica P.
own,
Okay. Go
you
ahead.
have to be an adult, or you have to have a child to set that chain of event. So that's already a chain of event. 1. 2, like I said, I don't know what transpired for them to see each other for that big blowout to happen, but we do know it was allegations that she put her hands on her mother. So me being the mom, you put your hands on me. If I choose not to put my hands back on you, the next best thing is to call the cops on you.
Erica P.
So yes, you signed up for that, because guess what? You decided you wanted to put your hands on me. I decided I don't want to put my hands back in front of my grandbaby, in front of all of these other people outside who could see what's going on. So the best thing for me to do was, hey, come get her.
Erica
You
P.
can't blame that. You can't blame every circumstance after that on me, though.
I can blame the mother. You know why I can blame the mother? Because you answer me this. What mother and is gonna let an alleged, this is alleged, their fiance grape their daughter, and then kick the daughter out of the house. Who is going to do that? You don't know what kind of mental lapse or mental breakdown that will have for that child to say, yo, you let this individual do this to me and then you kick me out? What kind of animosity do you think that child is going to have? Why do you think that child was bold enough to actually put their hands on her? Why? Because you failed that child. You chose this person over me
Yes.
after what they did to me. So no, you're not guilty. You keep saying,
Good point.
XYZ, but she started this direction of the relationship that she has with her child. She chose a man over her child after this man alleged raped her and kicked her out. Nothing you can say to me is going to make me think this mother is innocent. Absolutely nothing. As a mother, would you take that position?
Me as a mother, no.
Exactly.
But do I
Let
know
me
the
ask
full?
you this too.
Do I
Let
know
me
the
ask-
full story? I might
But
not
let me
know
ask
it.
you this too. Like I said, this is all alleged. We're going off based of what's alleged. If you was in Mahogany's shoes and your mother's boyfriend raped you and you got kicked out of the house, how would you feel about your mother?
Guess what? There would be no interactions whatsoever at that point.
If she has your kid,
But she has your child now. She
But
has your
guess
child.
what? If you're telling me that my child is a product of me being an ARD, I might not want that kid either.
Yeah, but you might not want it. But when you give birth and the child is in your hand, that's a
It's
whole
different.
different dynamic, especially after going through 9 months of carrying the child. You don't know that.
But think about it though. It is a constant reminder that I was ARD.
yes. But you had
So
the kid too.
correct. But guess what? Remember, we're in areas now that no longer we're giving people abortions or pills or anything else. Maybe when I found out about it, it was too far gone.
Understandable. But
Good.
the
Good
bottom
point.
line is she did keep the child. That's what it comes down, and she did want a connection with her child. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the mother failed her at that point.
Correct. Yes,
So
I
we
will agree
can't.
with.
So we
I
can't
can agree
say.
with you there.
So we can't say, "Oh, this was just a fisticuff and was being disrespectful to Mahogany." No, that mother. If all this is alleged true, because it's all alleged, that mother started that path. And
Then-
people are saying, "Well, Mahogany was violent. This, that, and why wouldn't she?
I'm about to say at this point, I probably
Why
would be
wouldn't she?
violent.
Why
wouldn't
not?
she? With everything that she went through."
Because
Yeah.
think about it, if you're telling me my family failed me,
Mhm.
meaning my mother failed me, I don't know what the circumstances with the father. You're telling me my child is a potential product of an R situation. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, that's going to be a hard life to live. And you're right. Everything that happened going forward, I will be blaming the mom because guess what? You're supposed to be the person that protects me. You're supposed to
Yes.
be the one that is supposed to be my champion. And unfortunately,
Yes.
you're not being my champion. You're not. You left me to go by the wayside because I was a problem child, or because I didn't want to listen, or I was being defiant. But guess what? I'm a child who is probably doing everything else that the teenagers around me are doing, but you're not seeing these are call for helps. This is, hey, maybe I want some attention. Maybe I need you to believe me and not believe everybody else going around me. So yes, you are right. These are all things that the mom
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing? They're being put in
triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And there's really no coming back for that because if your own family is doing this to you, where do I get help from?
Who can you
Because
trust?
who can I trust?
You
Because
can't.
obviously the friends that I chose weren't friends to trust either. But I'm only going based off of the examples that I had. So, like a mom like I had, like the dad that I had, like the stepdad supposedly that I had. If these are all things that are deemed what are supposed to be teaching me how to become that.
I got you, Miss Sexy. I got you. We finna go back because I want to be able to make sure too. I got you, girl. Let me see.
The day, the mother failed her at that point.
Correct. Yes,
So
I
we
will agree
can't.
with.
So we
I
can't
can agree
say.
with you there.
So we can't say, "Oh, this was just a fisticuff and was being disrespectful to Mahogany." No, that mother. If all this is alleged true, because it's all alleged, that mother started that path. And
Then-
people are saying, "Well, Mahogany was violent. This, that, and why wouldn't she?
I'm about to say at this point, I probably
Why
would be
wouldn't she?
violent.
Why
wouldn't
not?
she? With everything that she went through."
I might not want that kid either.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right here, Miss Sexy. Listen to what they
what's
say.
alleged. If you was in Mahogany's shoes and your mother's boyfriend raped you and you got kicked out of the house, how would you feel about your mother?
Guess what? There would be no interactions whatsoever at that point.
If she has your kid,
But she has your child now. She
But
has your
guess
child.
what? If you're telling me that my child is a product of me being an ARD, I might not want that kid either.
You heard Miss Sexy. You heard what she said. So I think he's about to repeat it again.
Yeah, but you might not want it. But when you give birth and the child is in your hand, that's a
It's
whole
different.
different dynamic, especially after going through 9 months of carrying the child. You don't know that.
But think about it though. It is a constant reminder that I was ARD.
yes. But you had
So
the kid too.
correct. But guess what? Remember, we're in areas now that no longer we're giving people abortions or pills or anything else. Maybe when I found out about it, it was too far gone.
Understandable. But
Good,
the
good
bottom
point.
line is she did keep the child. That's what it comes down, and she did want a connection with her child. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the mother failed her at that point.
Correct. Yes.
So
I
we
will agree
can't.
with.
So we
I
can't
can agree
say,
with you there.
So we can't say, "Oh, this was just a fisticuff and was being disrespectful to Mahogany." No, that mother. If all this is alleged true, because it's all alleged, that mother started that path. And
Then-
people are saying, "Well, Mahogany was violent. This, that, and why wouldn't she?
I'm about to say at this point, I probably
Why
would be
wouldn't she?
violent.
Why
wouldn't
not?
she? With everything that she went through."
Because
Yeah.
think about it. If you're telling me my family failed me,
Mhm.
meaning my mother failed me, I don't know what the circumstances with the father. You're telling me my child is a potential product of an R situation. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. That's going to be a hard life to live. And you're right. Everything that happened going forward, I will be blaming the mom because guess what? You're supposed to be the person that protects me. You're supposed to
Yes.
be the one that is supposed to be my champion. And unfortunately,
Yes.
you're not being my champion. You're not. You left me to go by the wayside because I was a problem child, or because I didn't want to listen, or I was being defiant. But guess what? I'm a child who is probably doing everything else that the teenagers around me are doing, but you're not seeing these are call for helps. This is, hey, maybe I want some attention. Maybe I need you to believe me and not believe everybody else going around me. So yes, you are right. These are all things that the mom triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And
now,
there's really
June,
no coming back for that because if your own family is doing this to you, where do I get help from?
Who can you
Because
trust?
who can I trust?
You
Because
can't.
obviously the friends that I chose weren't friends to trust either. But I'm only
Exactly.
going based off of the examples that I had. So, like a mom like I had, like the dad that I had, like the stepdad supposedly that I had. If these are all things that are deemed what are supposed to be teaching me how to become that member of society. They
Yeah, no chance.
technically they all failed.
It was that first
Lord.
video. When I
Mhm.
watched it, I just seen how emotional you was when you was speaking, and it looked like it touched you.
Yeah.
And me knowing you have daughters and you're very involved, you love setting things up for them. You just
Yeah.
love that family unit. How did you feel as a father of daughters, even hearing, reading, listening, watching this situation between Mahogany and those dirtbags who did what they did to her?
See, and shout out to you because you're the one who sent me the article on Mahogany Jackson. And after I read that article, like it sent chills up my spine where I had like the butterfly feelings in my stomach because what came to mind was, what if this happened to my daughters? What if this happened to my daughters? And you know what then crossed my mind? What crossed my mind was all the times like my daughters come to me, hey, dad, can you do XYZ? And I'm like, yo, I don't have the time, or I say I'll do it later and don't do it later. They're asking for my time and I'm too busy to give them that time. Those are the things that push a child to look for other means for their attention. And that's like, dag, as a dad, I'm failing. And I looked at it as this girl was failed because even when you listen to the neighbor was like she was looking for attention. So that could happen to any one of us because let's face it, man, when it comes to us working, doing all these things, we be too tired. As much as we want to be involved in our kids' lives, we be too tired to do things, which makes the kids look for other means of attention.
Yes.
So as parents, we got to do better. And just thinking what she went through, oh my God, if that was my daughter, I don't know how I would probably lose it. Like
Would you
I
get
would
locked up?
never be the same. I
Would you get locked up?
You know what? I probably wouldn't be in the right state of mind, and it's a good possibility. It is a good possibility. I wouldn't put anything past it because, like I said, man, it just felt like a knife to the gut or something, the way that like it just hits. And I
So the-
think that's why a lot of people are so passionate about it because it's like, yo, I understand it. I get it. So yeah, man, it just hit so hard because I would never want anybody close to me to go through that. I wouldn't even want my worst enemy to go through anything like that. So yeah, it hit hard. And as a father, I don't think no father would want their daughter to experience anything like that. So that's
Don't-
why it hit hard. And I felt I needed to get this story out. Like soon as I read it, I was like, I need to work on this video. I need to understand the why and everything that happened. So that is why I was so passionate about that video. And not for nothing, even when me and Erica P was talking about it, and she wasn't as passionate as me, we got into it a little bit because I'm like, yo, as passionate as I am, like this should enrage you, you know? So it got me ticked off for that reason because I am a dad and have daughters. And like I said, I don't want them to ever experience that. And it kind of checked me where it's like, hey, I'm going to give them the attention that they need and that they ask for. I'm going to make that extra effort to do so.
What if is a symptom that torments individuals with OCD?
What if I never feel just right?
What if I bring COVID?
See, thank you for sharing that. First off, me, I'm not even a father of a daughter. I have nieces, I have sisters. Eric, we know females, and for that to happen for 24 hours getting tortured, yo, I can't even imagine. And they were her friends.
Yeah.
You remember when we were talking and you was like, when she got up, I forgot what you said, like she knew, I think you said she knew it was gonna end or something. It was either
Yeah,
you or a comment, like she knew it was a wrap. And it's like,
Yep.
I don't know, man. Erica, Did we talk about how you felt as far as a mother of a daughter, a woman, a female? Like, how did you feel? Did we talk about that?
We didn't, but I'm gonna throw it out there. When I first heard the story, I thought it was foolery at its best. Like, and I'm not saying it to be mean. I just felt that it was another story that you hear. Like, that's legitly what I felt at first. And then after I started looking into it a little bit more, then I was like, oh, wait a minute. This more than just what I thought it was. Because when you hear it without looking into the circumstance, you don't know what to think. You just think it's another news story. But then when you start thinking about it, you're like, wait, these are people that she knew. These are people that was fighting her. But then it's like, okay, but I guess it's sad because it's like if you grow up with that fight mentality, at first it was like, oh, it's just another fight. But then it's like, wait, it was a fight. Then it translated to her being forced into doing stuff that she didn't want to do. Then you're telling me that people were R-ing her and they sodomized her. Then that's when the story for me changed because it's like, wait a minute. It's one thing if it's just females fighting. It's something completely different when you had females fighting her. You had guys taking advantage of her. And it's being recorded and passed around. So that means y'all doing it like it's a joke.
Let me
This
ask you
ain't a
this.
joke.
Let me ask you this. What if somebody sent you that video and it was your daughter?
Oh, they sent me the video and it's my daughter. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna see red. Like I'm not gonna know anything else but seeing red because I'm gonna be looking for everybody in the video.
Exactly.
Everybody who had their hands on the video, I'm gonna be looking for them. Y'all can be like, I don't think y'all gonna be able to bail me out because I really don't know where the stopping point is.
There is
Because at the
none.
end of the day, my daughter is gone. So if my daughter is gone, I feel like everybody who I'm about to go look for is about to be some street justice. And I really don't condone that kind of stuff, but I feel like it would cause me to snap.
Now, let me just say this. You heard your response and the way you initially felt about the story, right? But after you heard about the story, how your response was, you have more passionate than the mom did. When I see her give like her when she spoke about the situations on the news outlets, you had more passionate than the mom did.
That is a problem for me. If I had more passion and I don't even know this person, but if it happened to my own child, like I feel like like if it was my child, the mother should have been worse. That means
Exactly.
either one, you had washed your hands away from this child from the get-go.
She was dead to you.
So because she was dead to you, at this point it was like, okay, it's something that I knew that was going to happen.
Oh,
But
wow.
at the end of the day, it's like, as a parent, that you do not want to see yourself outlive your kid. Like, that's not a thing. Everybody that I have talked to who has outlived their child says that is the hardest thing for them to do, unless that child was sick and you knew it would put them in a better place.
I'm just going to end it off with this, ladies and gentlemen. When the mom said she got the text and everything and she forwarded the information to the police, she said they called her in the morning and she was just chilling on the couch. Those were her exact words.
The mom?
She was just chilling on the couch, and that's when she got the call. And she's like, "Oh, where's my child? This, that, and the third." But hey, like I said, no dad would want any of their children, especially their daughter, experience this. But on the other hand, Mayweather seemed to think that he wouldn't mind if this happened to his daughter. So click this card right here that just popped out if you want to see the details on what Mayweather said.
It's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, it's Miss Sexy. It's videos on all this stuff, all the receipts and stuff, and everything that they saying. I wouldn't have checked it out myself. It's just it's the receipts. It's on another content creator's channel, and I definitely I plan on trying to contact them. I know how now, but I plan on trying to contact them to see if it's okay if I was to use this video, for the receipts. But I seen all the receipts for everything that they saying, you know, and you know, a lot of things that's why they say it's a lot of loose, you know, a lot of loose pieces, you know, that's missing to a lot of to this story, you know, because it goes the stuff that's being said about the mom is based off of the interview that she did. And then I think it was one interview, and then she did like she was on somebody's platform or something like that. I didn't look through I heard one and I only seen one. So I'm not sure if it's on somebody's platform, but I do know she did do an interview. And she just basically showed like she didn't have no type of emotion or nothing. Like, and then they also did the you know, they do the little press conference where they do a little small little interview about you know, towards the immediate family or close friends or something that knew her. And the sister, her older sister, she just seemed like she was like pretty nonchalant about it too. Like none of them actually showed no type of emotion that you would actually, you know, you would expect, like how we react when we very first heard about it and heard of everything that they have did to this child. Like, you know, your heart would just be completely broken, and you don't get that. You don't get that when you see them on the videos. For real. Yeah, I already know cancer. That's why I want to find out what's really going on, because it's obvious that that mother, it's almost like she was so thirsty to hurry up and get rid of her granddaughter. Like hurried up. If you know, but if that happened to my daughter, you know what I mean, and my daughter has a baby, like that would be the only thing that I felt like I would have a part of my child, you know, with me. I would never. I wouldn't want my grandbaby to be away from me. So that's just weird. Miss X say this is out of control and she needs justice for her. Yes, she do need justice, Miss X, most definitely. On a Content Creator Live I was watching, said the mother was at the airport when she got the text from Mahogany. And now, yeah, I think that too. But then now it's being questioned because the mom said that she was at home sleep on one of her interviews. Like she was at home sleep. So I'm looking like, so which one is it? It's either you was asleep or you was at the airport with no phone. So it's just a lot of weird stuff like going on when it got to do with the people that this young lady was surrounded by. A lot. Can say, oh wow, so the mom didn't show. No, she didn't show. If you thought that lady that was on that cancer that was up here with that we just got down watching, you thought that she wasn't showing no emotion. That's nothing compared to how the mom did not show any type of emotions. And it's hard. I'm pretty sure what you said it's hard for you. It was hard for me to be able to hear this stuff, you know, just pretty much on a regular basis for the past few days. But I'm trying to put two and two together and not trying to make it a personal issue, you know, or anything like that for me. So I'm trying to, you know, just looking at it from a different standpoint. Because it's heartbreaking. Like seriously, that type of stuff, it'll be so much up in your head, you know. It's like, you know, you couldn't help but to only try to imagine and not try to imagine at the same time. Miss Lynn say, exactly, the whole family didn't care about her. I followed the mother and the sister, and they are a hot mess. Yes, they are, Miss Lynn. Yes, they are. I mean, it's almost like she's just trying to get clout off of her daughter's death or something. I don't get it. Like I don't know. It's so weird, and you hate to actually, you know, try to say the wrong thing, especially when it has to do with a situation like this. Like, we gonna find out though. It's like say Miss Lynn, nobody showed Mahogany no remorse. They didn't. They didn't. And that's why I say we gotta watch the funeral because I gotta see about this funeral video because they do have a video of her funeral. So I really I just want to see for real. Because they did not care nothing about that baby. At least they showed her and it seemed like she just had a little rough life, and I don't know. And I can agree with them. I feel like her mother failed her. For real. But my thing is why? So, why would she do that? Like, I'm not understanding. And then not only that, her big sister, they didn't get along. She was, oh Lord, it's just a lot, y'all. It's a lot. For real. I really believe that too, though. For real, Miss Lynn. I really believe Miss X, I'm going to war for my kids. For real. Girl, I promise you. Like, no, if somebody showed me a video or videos or any doggone thing or something like those type of things happening to my child, to my daughter, girl, I don't care nothing about no jail, no nothing. Just like old girl just said on that platform, she said all she see is red. That's all she'll be able to see is red. And I can imagine feeling like that. Like, no, everybody is going down. I want everybody. For real, everybody. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You go. You definitely going. You going. I want everybody. For real. Miss Lynn said, oh, okay. They said that the funeral was a mess. They sure did. They said they came up in there like it was a fashion show, didn't they, Miss Lynn? They came to the funeral, child, like it was a fashion show. Like they was going out to a club or something. Child. And even the little cutout board, they was talking about the type of cutout board that they had for her with one of her pictures. Why would you have her have a cutout board of her sticking up her middle finger? So that's what everybody's supposed to stand behind that board with her sticking up her middle finger. That's how y'all want her to be remembered. I'm like, what is wrong? Cancer say, doesn't anybody know who paid for the funeral? And seems like mom didn't care about her own child. I think it's more to that. Not only that she didn't care, I believe that she, had some type of jealousy against her child or something. I don't know what it is. Something had to happen, and I want to know. I want to know, about a lot of stuff that transpired, throughout, maybe to her, I'm going to say since she got pregnant, since she had her child. I really want to know. Miss Lynn, you must have seen the funeral, because I heard it was a mess, and I have the funeral. I just haven't looked at it. I'm going to look at it tonight, though. When I get off of here, I'm going to look at it. But I did hear that it was a mess, and how they came up in there, you would think that you was in the club, and I just told y'all about the cutout board. They had a picture of her, sticking up her middle finger, child. Yep, Cancer. It was crazy. I'm not sure who paid for the funeral. Yeah, I ain't too sure who paid for the funeral. They probably got it funded, and then I know that it's supposed to be like some type of GoFundMe that supposedly the mother has supposed to start it or something like that for money to be able to come to her, and it was like more so like during that time frame. This is like right before the funeral or something like that. The mother had gave the baby to Mahogany's brother. You know what I mean? So he should have been getting, whatever funds that was going to be given towards her child, towards Mahogany's baby. It should have been going to the brother and not going to the mother, because the mother didn't have the child in her possession anymore. Miss Lynn said, please find that video of the other funeral. I would love to see. Oh, I got it. Yep, I got it already. Yep. I got you, Miss Lynn. I just got to see how long it is and see if it's the whole funeral, you know. So I just haven't looked at it yet. I saved it, but I just haven't looked through it. Cancer say she was jealous because her boyfriend raped her daughter. I'm sorry, but I have no respect for the mom. I don't either, Cancer. I ain't got no respect for that. Ooh, either, for real. Because she already was mad. We got to think about it like this too, y'all. She already was mad. The mom was already mad at Mahogany. You know, so they was into it already. That was the reason why Mahogany was at where she was at, because she was homeless and she ain't had nowhere to go. So they had already had words. I think the last words that they had, this is when Mahogany supposedly had just got up out of jail for her mama calling the police, you know, and then when they showed those texts and everything that she was sending, you know, to one of the neighbors from where she used to stay at when she was staying with her mother. So we already know those are the main events that happened right before she went back to Birmingham. So before all these other events came, this is what happened. So if she did text her mom, which I doubt it, you know, if she did text her mom, she probably didn't expect to talk to her mama anyway. It probably would have just been normal, you know, for your mama that you always get into it with. You know, they ain't going to answer the phone. But I don't think that she actually sent those texts out. I think somebody that was in that house decided to send that text out. That's what I think. So, of course, that's just my opinion. That's what I'm saying, Miss Lynn. That's why I was trying to tell you. That's what I was telling y'all, that I have to get in contact with this content creator. They had the funeral video. He was actually there at the funeral. You know, so I got to get in contact with them to see if it'll be okay, you know, for me to use his video. If not, then, you know, I'll make something else happen. It's fine. Let me see. Cancer say, Mel, please go live tomorrow so you can share more about this story with us. I definitely will. I still have probably about like 4 to 5 videos that I'm gonna share with y'all. And then it's a couple of videos that need to be edited. So even if I don't go live, then I might just, you know, do it as a premiere and I'll be in the chat with y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all know. I got you, Cancer. Miss Lynn say, I was feeling sorry for the mother until I started following her. Girl, when I started, I was feeling sorry for the mom when I first heard of it too. But what made me, you know, kind of lift my eyebrow up was when I seen her video. When I seen her, you know, how nonchalant she was on that interview. When I seen that, I'm looking like, I got to turn up my nose, like, hold on. Why she act like she don't care? Why she act like she just like holding a conversation with one of her friends and like none of this stuff, she just found out none of this stuff that that happened to her child. She just literally just seen all these horrible videos of the stuff that these people did to her child. Sure, that's what pissed me off, Miss Lynn, for real. That pissed me off. And since then, I've been on that butt. I've been on that ass because, baby, that ain't cool. So now she going to be my doggone case study. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? For real. What is wrong with you? Her sister was the same way. The same way. I don't know if you heard, Miss Lynn, but supposedly The sister was mad at Mahogany too over some boys. Unreal, over some boys that Mahogany's supposed to have messed with or talked to some guy or something like that. You know, it's just a whole bunch of little drama. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of drama that's in between a lot of this stuff. And it's almost like these people just treated her as a villain. Like, they really didn't care. They treated her like trash. And that's exactly how they did her. And it's like, to me, it's just like, why? All y'all, your family, your immediate family, and these close fake ass friends, you know, I just don't understand it. Miss Sexy say this is sad and people need to pay for it. It is. I just don't understand, you know, how a person, anybody can even do that type of stuff to anybody, for real. The stuff they did to that, I can't. Yeah. They were saying that she probably was, you know, what the other guy was just saying on that first video when we first synced it. That she probably was, you know, probably a little tipsy or something. Or that she probably had a little drink and that she probably didn't feel as much pain as she would have felt, you know, had she been sober or something. Well, no. Ain't that much tipsy or none of that shit. No, ain't that much in the world. But all the stuff that was done to her, all them people for 24 hours, no. Ain't that much alcohol, being faded, being drunk, or none of that shit. For your body to be going through that. Miss Lynn say, yep, the mama and daughter didn't care about her. Yep, they sure did. And she was real nonchalant too at that press conference. I'm looking like she was looking like she did. And the only thing she had to do was just roll her eyes. I would have been like, baby, if you feel like that about me, and that goes for anybody, just don't speak on my behalf. Don't ask me what type of person I was or none of this, that, and the third. Like, just don't speak on me. For real. At all. Like, shit, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Like, you could have just said you don't have nothing to say. But instead, you going to bring your little snotty attitude and get to talking and act like somebody is forcing you to say the stuff up out of your mouth. She didn't even have to say nothing. If she was going to have that type of, you know, like, her energy, you could tell, you know, vibe with a person's energy. For real. I just, Cancer say Male Alabama does carry the unalive penalty. Oh, okay. Okay, but I think I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, God bless their soul, cause baby, they didn't ruin their life. The youngest of all of them was 18 years old. It's a wrap. Their life is over. Either way it go. But I just think that if they do, not that if they do, but since they do take the have the unalive penalty, like, I think that'd just be too easy. Make them do that time, be up in there for life. For real. That's just my opinion. They're gonna be treated with however the hell they're gonna be treated. Right up in there. That's so messed up. But yeah, y'all, we about to y'all know I'm about to get ready and shut it down. Better try to take me some medicine so I won't be then about to cough my lungs out and sit up here and nose running everywhere. Gotta take me some NyQuil. Get up under my blanket, and I'm about to see if I can find this funeral video so I can watch it, because I don't know how long it's gonna be. But it don't matter. I'm just about to chill out and relax. So I love y'all. And thank y'all for keeping it cute. Keeping it cute, y'all. And we're gonna definitely go into the other videos tomorrow, y'all. I got you. Good night, good night. I hope they be in there too, Miss Lynn. Good night, I love y'all. I'll probably go over here in break room and go speak. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.